Alright fellas, here we are back in Pokemon Masters, and it's hot as hell in this room right now, and I can't have my fan on because of background noise, plus I have a lawnmower going, so that's already going to be background noise, but I'm going to try to make this video a little bit quicker than normal. I don't know, maybe around 10 minutes, 15 minutes maybe, but yeah, we're going to look at Mallow and Shiinotic here. They are, you know, a Variety Scout unit that's going to be dropping for the Akala Passion Trainer Files event, so yeah, we're going to see if she's worth summoning for, which she's not. Don't do it. We'll end the video right there. But nah. We'll look at her kit here, see how you know, worthwhile she is, how good of a unit she can be, you know, all that good stuff, right? So, looking at her, she is a support grass type sync pair. She's a 5-star, of course, and her stats are decent, you know, actually pretty solid. 660 HP is a little bit on the low end, you know, considering the fact she's level 140, 630 HP at level 140, right? 88 attack, very low, which that makes sense, right? Shiinotic is not known to have a very high attack stat. 273 defense, that's solid, right? That's pretty good. Special attack is 224, who really cares? She does have Giga Drain, so of course, you know, a higher special attack stat for more heals, the better, I guess, but still, it doesn't make much of a difference. And then 297 special defense is pretty, you know, quite a bit better. Around 300 defense is about what you would want for supports, right? So that's pretty good. 251 speed, pretty subpar speed tier, so whatever, right? It's not the greatest, not the worst. So yeah, pretty average stats for a Variety Scout unit, I would say, like especially comparing other Variety Scout units. Like if you look at Lorelei and Cloyster, 300 defense, 268 defense, 500 HP, so Lorelei has a little bit lower, quite a bit lower HP, but around the same defenses and all that, right? So Mallow's actually doing pretty well for herself, I guess, in terms of the stats, so that's not bad. But looking at everything else, she's also got all of her moves here, of course. Giga Drain, it's a 3-gauge move that will heal you the more damage you do, of course. She's got X Special Defense all. Buffing Allies Special Defense is, you know, solid, I guess. It's nothing really crazy right now, but hey, it could be good for the Gauntlet. Stun Spore for Paralysis, this can also be pretty nice, right? But we have a lot of Paralysis units, or at least a lot of units that can benefit off of Paralysis and apply it, so I wouldn't say this is anything too crazy, but still, being able to apply a status condition easily as a support unit is relatively valuable, I would say. It's not bad. And then her trainer move, today's special, it raises the special attack of all allies by 4, raises the accuracy of all allies by 1, and raises the crit rate of all allies by 2. Another Variety Scout unit that just raises crit by 2 and doesn't have any version of, you know, maxing it, right? I mean, she does have Team Sharp entry, I guess, in the grid, but whatever. I don't really like supports that can't max crit without dupes, or at least, like, I guess, can't, like, NPR or something like that. Can we at least get that at 1 out of 5? I don't think she does. Nah, she doesn't get NPR until 2 out of 5, I'm guessing. That's 3 out of 5. 2 out of 5, yeah. She has to be 2 out of 5 to get her trainer with NPR, but whatever. So, if you have a unit that can max their own crit, you know, +1 or whatever, I guess, then obviously this won't be too much of a problem, but still, not really the greatest, right? And then looking at her abilities, her passives, she has Absorbs Hit Attack Down, lowers the target's attack by 1 when the user's attack move that has the Absorb effect tag is successful. So you're essentially able to debuff attack after, you know, attacking someone with Giga Drain, which can be pretty nice as a support unit. Hit paralyzed opponent, recover HP 9, restores the user's HP when its attack move is successful against a paralyzed opponent. So you're essentially building her to, you know, stun spore the opponent, have him be paralyzed, use Giga Drain, and restore a bunch of HP as well as debuff attack, right? That's kind of what she's, you know, building off of, which is not bad. And then status immunity here. Status conditions cannot be inflicted on the user. That's pretty good, right? I mean, you can't get, you know, poison, burn, trapped, or not trapped, poison, burn, paralyzed, or freezed, frozen, whatever. So that's pretty good. But looking at her just 1 out of 5 with this kit, and looking at her grid anyway, Stalwart, who cares? Raging Rain, or Racing Rain, I mean. Why would you even, why? Whatever. I guess if you're running her with like a rain setter like May, or whoever else sets rain, I really don't, I'm brain farting right now, but, or Archie, I guess, then you're going to have the gauge, which is nice, and you can obviously buff ally special attack and crit, so she's actually not a bad partner for May, realistically, but still, whatever. It's not too bad. And then stun spore move, gauge refresh, that's it. So other than that, Mallow's 1 out of 5 is not really the greatest. summing up everything she can do here, she can buff ally special attack by 4, accuracy by 1, crit by 2. She can paralyze the opponent, debuff attack when attacking the enemy with this 3-gauge Giga Drain, which I think is the biggest problem. 3-gauge move, right? Generally, you're definitely gonna need some sort of speed, right? You're gonna need help with that. And then, obviously, you can restore HP really well with Giga Drain and whenever you're attacking a paralyzed opponent, right? So that's not bad. So, okay, and buffing special defense, sure. But looking at this, just at 1 out of 5, remember, these are limited units. You have to either get dupes from summons, or you have to candy the unit. That's the only way to get dupes for these units. You can't, like, use tickets or something like a spotlight unit or whatever. And looking at this unit, not worth the candy just looking at the base kit. Not even close. This unit is not really all that amazing. The debuffs are cool. The status conditions and stuff as a support is cool. But she's got some very glaring issues, such as 3-gauge move required to do half of these abilities, right? In order to restore your HP and all that, you need to use Giga Drain. And, in order to debuff attack, you have to use Giga Drain. 3-gauge move, you're going to need speed, and you are not going to be having fun with speed, right? So you're going to need to bring someone that can either buff your speed, which, if you do, that's generally a support, in which case you would just replace Mallow on the support slot for that, right? You don't want to... You can run a double support setup, that's fine, but generally, you don't want to. You want to run, a support, your main damage dealer, or either a secondary damage dealer, or someone like Special Costume Steven, or someone, right? Or like Anniversary Raihan, something similar to that, where you're able to really buff allies in another extent. So yeah. Mallow, 1 out of 5, not worth it at all, but we'll look at her grid here, see if she gets any better, which she kind of does. She gets Catalyst, which is a solid thing for, her sync, so you're going to get that support EX, and you'll have Catalyst here for extra damage, which is good. Obviously, we have Racing Rain, but that's only on Rain teams. I think that's mostly it for 2 out of... Okay, well, Train with NPR and Pep Rally. Pep Rally is a big one, but it's only +1 speed, which is not bad, but +1... Okay, if you're doing +1 speed and you have Catalyst up, those are both really good, right? We've all seen Cygnus and Morty's Gauge, right? This isn't bad. But, +1 speed and then having to wait for Catalyst, that's pretty bad, especially because this only works the first time you sync. So you can't just sync with Mallow, which is already... If you sync after the first sync with Mallow, it's not going to be doing much for you aside from applying move gauge acceleration, but even then, it doesn't work because Catalyst only applies the first time you use your sync move. So, keep that in mind. Mallow's gauge is still going to be having troubles up until that first sync move, and once you do get to that first sync move, you have to sync with Mallow. You can't do a Tech EX, you can't do a Striker EX, or whatever you're using. You have to sync with Mallow in order to do it. So you're pretty much requiring her to have a support EX already. But yeah, Catalyst not bad, Pep Rally not bad. Those mitigate the speed problems a little bit, but not enough, in my opinion, to make it a super valuable, pickup. Then Trinity move hit and heal, applying gradual healing to herself. She's got a lot of healing in here. Giga Drain for the already base restoration. This hit paralyzed opponent recover HP 9 ability, and of course gradual healing. She's going to be healing a lot if you're able to use Giga Drain consistently, right? So that's very, very good there. And then we've got X Special Defense All NPR and Shielded 1 on X Special Defense All, which can be good for defense buffs, but overall nothing too crazy. Quick Cure actually is pretty solid here as well, but other than that, 2 out of 5, nothing crazy. The biggest stuff is Catalyst and the Trinity move Pep Rally. So if you're going to candy 2 out of 5, that's not bad, I guess, but again, these units are just not worth the strength in general. Like, if you were comparing Mallow, the latest support unit, a gotcha support unit, like, limited, and then compare the neck, no way. Was Cygnus Acerola really the last support? Yeah, she was. If you want to compare Mallow, Variety Scan Mallow to Cygnus Acerola, it's night and day, dude. It's night and day. And then even before that, you had Mina. Mina's a lot better, too. These are Pokefairs, man. These are Pokefair units. These are better units. These are Variety Scouts. Variety Scouts are, like, essentially premium Lodge units. Or BP units, right? This is crazy to me. Whatever. And then 3 out of 5, I'll be honest, 3 out of 5, in my opinion, does help out her gauge issues a little bit. But again, you're having to get her to 3 out of 5, which requires a lot of summoning or candies, and she's not worth the candies unless she's your favorite character, right? So looking at everything she gets Absorb, Hit, Special Attack down 9, so she's able to lower... It's essentially this ability here, but with special attack, right? So you're able to debuff attack and special attack as a support, which can be really good. So there's that. But do note, it's a little bit inconsistent, and you have to use this 3-gauge Giga Drain, right? Or it's not inconsistent, but you get -1 debuff, -1 debuff, -1 debuff. It's pretty slow in terms of debuffing. And you have to use the 3-gauge move as a support unit with iffy gauge management, right? So keep that in mind. Team Sharp entry to max crit. This can be good for maxing crit in a single turn, so I guess there is that as well, if you want to pick that up. I wouldn't blame anybody. Revenge Boost 9, this can be good for gauge for sure. That actually is not too bad. Endurance for some, being able to stay alive, that's not too bad either. But these are kind of just basic abilities in my opinion. Like, you could see this stuff in a free-to-play units grid, realistically speaking. Endurance and Revenge Boost 9, these are very basic abilities, but they're not bad. Endurance especially. Hit paralyzed opponent, recover HP 4, so it's this ability, except it's a 50% chance of proccing instead of 100%, so there's that. And then Synchro Healing, of course, because why not? More healing, which I find to be crazy. And then Giga Drain Master Healing. She's got so much healing, dude. This unit has absolutely so much healing. So yeah, that's pretty crazy to me, that she has this much healing. And then Giga Drain Move Gauge Refresh 9, even more Gauge Refresh, so essentially 3 out of 5 does fix the problems she has with Gauge, with Revenge Boost, and the Move Gauge Refresh here. And of course you can get Catalyst and Train Move NPR, or Pep Rally as well. But this, again, requires 3 out of 5, which is already a massive problem in and of itself. Looking at how they designed Mallow, they designed her to be this unit that is completely reliant on her healing move. With, of course, Giga Drain, because she debuffs attack, she has Master Healer, hit paralyzed opponent, recover 4, Synchro Healing. This unit is reliant on recovery and debuffs from her healing move. Those are the big things. These other aspects are kind of just side notes in, reference to that, right? These are the abilities that they really want you to, stand out when looking at this unit, right? All of these. Maybe something like this. This is her biggest, healing grid, which is insane. Because she's going to be healing so much in return. Oh, of course, gradual healing too, if you can somehow pick that up, but still. Master Healer for Giga Drain to restore more HP. Hit paralyzed opponent, recover HP 9. Hit paralyzed opponent, recover HP 4. Synchro Healing for 20% HP recovery after sync move. And then gradual healing. Yeah, it's pretty good. She's got a lot of HP recovery, but of course, Variety Scout unit, and also this is coming off a 224 attack stat, or special attack stat, so it may not be the greatest, as it looks to be in theory, but still, that's kind of what they were going for when designing this unit, and I can see how it would work, but it doesn't work when it's on a Variety Scout unit, which is just a horrible version of a Pokefair banner, and it's a unit that we don't know how they rerun yet. This unit, honestly, I would say is definitely comparable to a deluxe BP unit. I feel you could potentially put this unit's tier of strength in with the same level as the main character legendaries, or Nita, the legendaries in the BP unit exchange, right? Nita, Evelyn, the main characters, all of them. I know Evelyn and Nita aren't really the greatest, but I feel like if you were to release this unit in some sort of free fashion, that would be the level of strength that this unit would be bringing to the table, in my opinion. And if you were to change them a little bit, I could definitely see you putting this as Mallow's Lodge unit. That would definitely make a ton of sense to me, seeing this unit as Mallow's Lodge unit. I could easily see it. But she's got a lot of good stuff here in her grid, like Catalyst and Pep Rally to help her gauge, but you do require dupes for that, and these dupes are just not worth it. The Catalyst and Pep Rally, of course, are good abilities for sure, but candying her is not worth those abilities, and I would say definitely not. And without those candies and being stuck at 1 out of 5, this unit isn't good. This unit's not really worth much. You got attack debuffs, paralysis, a little bit of healing, some special defense buffs, some special attack buffs, and not even max crit. So yeah, that's really all you're working with, in my opinion. But yeah, I digress. I wouldn't summon for this unit, unless, of course, Mallow is your favorite character. I definitely can see summoning for her then. But yeah, Lance is probably the only Variety Scout unit I would really have recommended people to potentially summon for. I know I didn't, but still, he's the only one that I feel is really worth the strength, just because of Dragon rebuff and being as good as he is with Hyper Beam, just at 1 out of 5. But Mallow does not do what Lance does, right? She's just a kind of generic support. This kit if we take out the grid and we just look at this kit alone, this is equivalent to a Lodge unit to me. Lodge unit or a VP unit or whatever. This is just equivalent to that. I couldn't see this being any better than that. But yeah, whatever. I'm gonna end the video there, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know what you think about practically Lodge Mallow, I guess. Premium Lodge Mallow. Nah, what do you think? Let me know what you think about Variety Scout Mallow and Shiinotic down in the comments below, I guess. I don't recommend summoning. Don't do it. Just save your gems. Same thing with Kiawe. Don't summon for him either, of course. These units are not worth it. Save. If you're going to summon for anything, and you're not summoning for anything else in the month, I would literally recommend summoning for Sigma Suit Wally before I would recommend summoning for this unit. But of course, just wait until the data mine. Realistically, that is your best bet in terms of seeing, you know, the better units, right? Because next month we're gonna have the Galar Part 2, we're gonna have the run up to the anniversary, and then at the end of the month it's gonna be the anniversary itself. So yeah, keep that in mind and just, you know, save your gems and wait, right? So yeah, I'll see you all later. Hope you all enjoyed. Let me know what you think about Lodge Mallow. I keep saying Lodge. Variety Scout Mallow and Shiinotic down in the comments below. Let me know if you're gonna be summoning. I'm sorry if you are, but yeah, I'll see you all later.